Our topic is ocean cleanup and the impact humans have contributed to this global problem. Through research, it was discovered that over 8 million tons of plastic enters the ocean every year. The sources of the plastic in our oceans comes mainly from the land itself, or 80% to be exact, and 20% of plastic comes from ocean vessels. The impacts the plastic, trash, and debris have in our oceans that eventually reaches the coast has shown to cause health problems for humans and animals alike. One example is this environmental problem has been a contributor in the formation of cancer. There are 3 impacts associated with trash pollution in our oceans. These impacts are ecological, human health, and economic. The ecological impact trash pollution has on marine life causes the animals to mistake trash for food, which if ingested can choke them or block their digestive system. The toxins in these plastics and debris are the contributors to various forms of cancers and other infections found in marine animals in recent years. The second impact is human health. If not reversed in the next few years, it can begin to affect the next generation. Toxins from the ocean are being transported to the surface and have caused birth defects and abnormal molecules found in cancer. Economically, trash pollution negatively affects food industries, productivity, tourism businesses, and expansion in resources to combat the human-produced problem. This is a social problem that all of us have contributed to, and we are the only ones to solve the global problem we have created, and the solution to this is through increased oceanic and coastal cleanup.
Scientists have come up with an ocean cleanup system. The system has a long floater that sits at the surface of the water and skirt that hangs beneath it. The floater provides buoyancy to the entire system while the skirt prevents debris from escaping underneath and leads it into the retention system. The combination of natural forces and a sea anchor create a drag, which makes the system move consistently slower than the plastic while allowing the plastic to be captured. The system autonomously navigates the garbage patch for extended time periods, catching and retaining plastic in the center of the system. Once the systems are full, a vessel acting as a garbage truck of the seas will periodically remove the collected plastic.
KPIX 5 News begins with a Bay Area solution to an ocean disaster. This big pipe could make a major dent in a notorious patch of garbage floating in the Pacific. Good evening, I'm Veronica Dela Cruz.
I'm Alan Martin. We are getting our first look at a device designed to clean up the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. That's the floating junkyard between California and Hawaii that has grown to about twice the size of Texas. KPIX 5's Mary Lee live in Alameda with the plan to pick up all that plastic. Mary?
That's right, Alan. I want to show you just how bad the problem is. This bag of trash came from the stomach of a sea turtle, and now researchers are looking to this big pipe to fix the problem.
What we say is to catch plastic, act like the plastic.
The Pacific plastic problem is getting worse every day. What's known as the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, floating between California and Hawaii, contains 1.8 trillion pieces of plastic weighing 80,000 tons. Here in Alameda, researchers with the nonprofit group The Ocean Cleanup have come up with a solution.
Actually, we had people saying to us, well, the reason why you can't clean up the ocean is that the plastic doesn't stay in one spot, it moves around. And then we thought, well, is that really a problem, or can we also use that as a solution? Because why would you go after the plastic if the plastic can come to you?
Here's their idea. Take a towboat out to the garbage patch, hauling a 2,000-foot-long plastic pipe with a 10-foot nylon screen that drops down into the water to collect all the plastic. A fleet of 60 of these floating screens will follow the ocean currents, just like the floating trash.
We use the same forces that move the plastic around. And the beauty of that is that where the plastic concentrates, our systems will also concentrate.
Once it's in this concentrated state, then it's very easy to take it out. We can simply put a net around it. We check if there's no fish in it. Then we close the top, we close the bottom, and we just lift it out onto the boat, just like a bag filled with plastic.
They're launching the system this summer and expect to bring back the first batch of plastic to the Bay Area by the end of the year. If all goes well, they'll make other trips and expect to remove half of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch in just 5 years.
I think it's quite a tragic problem and also quite an unnecessary problem. Plastic doesn't have to be ocean plastic pollution, right? So, so I think it's really time to go and clean it up.
The Ocean Cleanup has already raised $40 million. The founder of Salesforce and the co-founder of PayPal have both donated to the project. Reporting live in Alameda, I'm Mary Lee, KPIX 5.
As of December 19, 2018, it would cost $5,000 to $20,000 per day and between $122 million and $489 million for 1 year just to hire enough boats to clean the Great Pacific Garbage Patch for a year, according to the U.S. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration estimate from 2012. This may seem like a lot of money, but that's only for boat time. Those figures don't include equipment, disposal, or labor costs. And keep in mind that not all debris items can be scooped up with a net.
Recently, there have been a lot more laws that have been put into place to make sure that our oceans are clean. An example of this would be in 2018 when the Save Our Seas Act was signed into action, which helped reduce the amount of debris that was put into our oceans, and it really just regulated what kind of trash is going in there, and then when trash is in there, how we dispose of it. And this bill also encourages our politicians to work with countries over in Asia who are responsible for most of the world's pollution because they don't really care about that sort of thing and they dispose of their garbage in the ocean. Stricter laws could also be put into place in terms of how we dispose of our trash, and this would obviously make sure it doesn't wind up in the ocean. And an example of that would be sort of how they do things in Europe, where their recycling is a lot different than what we do here in the States in terms of how they sort it. And they also just have a lot more access to things such as recycling bins and trash cans in cities and streets. We can also reduce the amount of pollution really if we just start using a lot more biodegradable products instead of plastics, because a lot of the garbage that gets put into the ocean, that's the pollution, is plastics because they can't dispose properly, and they are a big harm to the animals and living things in the sea. But yeah, these biodegradable products are starting to get a lot more traction now, really in the last couple of years. So most likely we'll see that continue to progress, and that would lead to most likely a lot safer oceans and safer life there.